What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, I have a bit of a Caspa update that's not necessarily the best today, but you guys know I like to keep you as prepared as possible. And so with that in mind, how about we just get straight into the video? So looking at Caspa here, what we can see is that its price has now lost the key support level that you and I spoke about in the last video at around 10.8 cents. You know, what I told you all was that we need to watch very closely the interaction between the swing low to the swing high, the Fibonacci retracement zones that we run into here for Caspa. I said the reason being is that, look, we have the zone, 618 to 786 Fibonacci zone that sits between 12.2 and 10.8 cents. I said that if Caspa's price is able to hold some support here, that there is a strong chance of a continuation to the upside. But realistically, that was going to be the harder option. That was going to be the less likely thing, of course, because the market was pulling back. And because of that, we need to watch very closely to see if this level is lost. I said, look, if this level is lost, the door to the downside isn't open. We may see Caspa's price start pulling back, and then we're really going to need to make some decisions. And well, what we can see is that it has now happened, right? And now that level of support is lost, and now it's time to start making some decisions. So that's the point of today's video. So, of course, you guys know my personal opinion, my general thesis of the market is that we are going to see the market push upwards at some given point. It may be an ugly May, June, July, right? We might not see much happen. We might go sideways. We might not do anything throughout the summer months, because oftentimes summer is very boring in crypto. But I do believe inevitably we will see the market push upwards. That's my genuine belief. And so because of that, whenever I have cryptos like Caspa, some of my favorite cryptos start pulling to the downside towards those overextension levels, it does really make me consider whether or not I want to be buying. Because in my opinion, buying, the lower we get, the bigger the opportunity becomes. Because if I believe we're going to head up here, obviously the further away from that I can buy, the bigger the gains that I can make. It's very beginner basic math. And so where we are with Caspa is that I'm deciding now whether or not I think now is the time to be buying. Well, personally speaking, what my opinion is that this is a decent time to buy. The reason I say it's a decent time to buy is because at any given point, we could see this thing bounce out of this zone, right? We've seen support hold up here before. We've seen the wicks down into the zone before. And at any given point, we might see Caspa try to push upwards. Although I don't necessarily think that's likely, I think that it's possible. And so because of that, obviously, that does make it a decent time to buy for me. And that's actually what I've done. So what I did is I went in and put just a tiny little purchase on Caspa. I bought it a little bit higher than where we are right now, around 10.5 cents. A tiny little purchase, nothing big whatsoever. But what I have done is laid out my future purchases in preparation for if this does continue downwards. Now, the way that I'm going about it personally is that my next buy actually won't be held until 0.093 or 9.3 cents. The reason being is, of course, this is the range low from this Fibonacci swing low to swing high. And oftentimes when you do see the 786 level lost, you are going to see it start to venture back down towards your range low, sometimes even further than that range low, which in this example would put Caspa falling below 9.3 cents, maybe even heading back towards the 8 to 7 cent area, somewhere down here. And so because of that, and knowing that there is a possibility in the option that Caspa's price does continue to pull back even further, that even further shows me that this isn't the best time to be buying, right? There is still a very wide open door to the downside in which we could see Caspa's price fall at least another, 9 to 10% ish roughly. Okay. And so with that in mind, I don't want to do any huge purchases, but as I mentioned before, there is that tiny chance we do venture back upwards and recapture the support. And so I might as well just buy a little bit now that we are getting somewhat overextended to the downside. So with that in mind, my next purchase that I have in mind is again at 9.3 cents. If we do continue lower, that means that we're very likely heading back towards the range low. So I'm not really trying to buy in between here, right? Because that is putting me in a position in which the likelihood of us pumping off of this without getting down here is getting lower and lower. And there's just no point in me wasting money whenever I could just be buying a little bit lower than that. So purchase number one is happening right around 10.5 cents. Purchase number two is happening right around 9.3 cents at my second buy target. Now, if that level is lost, okay, it does put us in a pretty weird situation in which the next breakout target or breakdown target is until 7.7 cents. And the fact that we don't have any liquidity for the most part in between these zones, right? We usually just go straight up, straight down, straight up. And even historically, we've gone pretty much straight through that zone as well. Knowing that, and kind of, or not historically before this, but just historically in general, and we have these moments where we go straight up through levels, we have to be careful, because the likelihood is then that without much liquidity in the zone, the likelihood of you just falling straight through it, just head first, just boom, like that, becomes more and more likely. And so knowing that, obviously, I'm actually not going to set in my third buy target until we're right above this level. So we're probably around 0.079 to 0.08, somewhere around this level here, okay? So that's the way that I'm going about it, and I will be increasing the size of my purchases if/when we do see Caspa's price get lower. So as I mentioned before, right here, little buy. Nothing really going on, tiny little buy. Right here, bit of a bigger buy, okay? Something that's definitely going to be a little bit more substantial. Then if we get this low, much bigger buy, expecting that at some given point rather soon, we would then start to look for the upside move. My average cost would have been reduced to somewhere around here, and then obviously breaking into profit on these purchases becomes much easier. And so with that in mind, that's my strategy, that's my plan, and those are my levels. 10.5, purchase number 1, 9.3, purchase number 2, 7.8 to 7.9, purchase number 3. Not saying that I think we're going to get this low. I'm just prepared for if we do. Best case scenario is that at any given point, we just start bouncing to the upside. We use this support to end this little downtrend, and then obviously we're already going to be in profit from some of these purchases that we've been making now, starting basically now. And so with that in mind, I will continue to update you as this does play out. But I just want you guys to understand that it's so important to just be ready. It's so important to be prepared so that a move like this, right, if Caspa's price does just decide that it's going to pull another 24%, you're not spooked by it. You're not freaked out. You're ready for it. You know what to do. Now, if you do want even further getting preparation, maybe that's the best word for it, preparation, guys, go down to my CoinW link down below. Go sign up. You don't have to do KYC, meaning you don't have to give them any of your personal information. You can just deposit your funds and start trading. You're not only going to get up to $30,000 in rewards, which is absolutely ridiculous, but you're actually going to get free access to our Telegram group, which does include tutorials, live trading sessions where you can learn from pro traders such as Dylan, such as Boris, such as Tango. On top of that, you're also going to be able to see their live alerts, and they're letting you know exactly what they're doing, if they're buying, selling, longing, or shorting. There's tutorials, there's market updates, there's technical analysis that they're posting on a daily basis. There's so much stuff here. So make sure again that you do go down to my CoinW link down below, go through the quick sign up process, start getting up to $30,000, and then of course you will be in a position to really get prepared and take advantage of this market. And so with that in mind, guys, that is about it for today's video. Just be prepared and be ready that Caspa's price could continue downwards. So set out your buy targets, put in your buy orders, and get ready for the move that could definitely be on the way. And of course, I will continue to update you as it does move, as we see developments, as things change, so that of course you can be as prepared as possible. So of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.